Alright, everybody, welcome to the Eerie Hours. I'm your host, Gene Skinner. Tonight we're going to be talking about yokai. The two yokai we'll be talking about is none of the famous Tamamo-no-Mae and also the Jorogumo spider, because in real fucking recent things, the Jorogumo spider, the Joro spider, is basically making itself an invasive species in the United States to be naturalized in the East Coast, and Tamamo-no-Mae's killing stone broke. Also, Weeb is not here yet. He will probably be joining us later tonight. I don't know exactly when. So until he does, I'm going to remove his icon from the image. So, let's talk about Tamamo-no-Mae. She was based on a historical person. There's an actual person she was based on, and she was said to have, ripped people open to see what the babies look different from other people. All other shit, really nasty, nasty person. Also, fox demon. She's a fucking fox demon. But anyway, before we get into more of that as is, and Jorogumo spiders are literally based on a type of orb weaver native to Japan that's pretty fucking big. All orb weavers tend to be kind of big spiders regardless. But before all that, I'm going to tell you what I'm drinking tonight. I haven't even had a sip of it yet, but I'm going to be having a Battle Priest by Three Floyds that happens to be an American Wild Ale. If you want to know what it looks like, it's in the Gene's Tiki and Cocktail corner. That's what the bottle itself looks like, and you can actually still buy it on Halftime Beverage. A single's not that expensive, and I'm sure there's other places if they sell Three Floyds, you could probably easily find it to purchase it. Anyway, with all that being said, let's take a listen to Japanese folktales about Tamamo-no-Mae. And I will be right back, I promise.
Tamamo, the Fox Maiden. A peddler journeyed with his pack upon the great high road which leads to the city of Kyoto. He found a small child sitting all alone by the wayside. "Well, my little girl," he said, "and why are you sitting all alone by the wayside?" "And where are you going?" said the child, with a staff and a pack and sandals all worn out. "I am bound for Kyoto and the emperor's palace to sell my goods to the ladies of the court." "Ah," said the child, "take me too." "What is your name, little girl?" "I have no name." "Where do you come from?" "I come from nowhere." "You seem to be about 7 years old." "I have no age." "Then why are you here?" "I have been waiting for you." "How long have you waited?" "For more than 100 years." The peddler laughed. "Take me to Kyoto." "You may come if you will," said the peddler. So they went on their way together, and in time they came to Kyoto and to the emperor's palace. Here the child danced in the
Yes,
august
this is her
presence
origin
of the
story.
Son of Heaven. She was as
It's
light
believed
as
to
a
be
seabird
another
upon the
reincarnation
crest
of
of
her,
a wave.
where she's an orphan.
When she had
No
finished
mother,
her
no
dancing,
child, but
the
has been
emperor
waiting for
called to her.
hundreds of years.
"Little maid," he said, "what shall I give you? Ask away."
Ask away.
"O divinely descended," said the child, "son of the gods, I cannot ask, for I am afraid." "Ask without fear," said the emperor.
Do it.
The child murmured, "Let me stay in the bright presence of your augustness." "So be it," said the emperor, and he received the child into his household, and he called her Tamamo.
Tamomo.
Very quickly, she became mistress of every lovely art.
Yep.
She could sing, she could play upon any instrument of music. She had more skill in painting than any painter in the land, and she was
This
a
is the
wonder with the
Japanese
needle,
origin.
and
There's
a
other
wonder at
Chinese
the
and
loom.
Indian origins for
The
her too.
poetry that she made moved men to tears and to laughter.
Because she was
The many
noted for
thousand
being
characters were child's play to her, and all the hard philosophy she had at her fingertips. She knew Confucius well enough, the scriptures of the Buddha, and the lore of Cathay. She was called the exquisite perfection, the gold unalloyed, the jewel without flaw, and the emperor loved her. Soon the emperor clean forgot
Crippling,
honour and duty and kingly state. Day and night he kept Tamamo by his side.
Yeah.
He grew rough and fierce and passionate, so his
Passionate.
servants feared to approach him.
Yeah.
He grew sick, listless and languid. He pined, and his physicians could do nothing for him. "Alas and alack," they cried, "what ails the divinely descended? For sure he is bewitched. Woe, woe, for he will die upon our hands."
He will die.
"Out upon them, every one!" cried the emperor, "for a pack of tedious fools. As for me, I will do my own will and take my pleasure." He was mad for the love of Tamamo.
And yes,
He took
Japanese
her to
beauty
his summer
still
palace,
stems
where
from
he had
Tamamo.
prepared a great feast in her honour. And to the feast were bidden all the highest of the land, princes and lords and ladies of high estate. And so to the summer palace they all came, where the emperor, wan and wild and madly in love, sat with Tamamo by his side, attired in scarlet and golden cloth. Radiantly fair she was, and she poured the emperor's sake out of a golden flagon. He looked into her eyes. "Other women are feeble toys beside you," he said. "There's not a woman here that's fit to touch the end of your sleeve. Oh, Tamamo, how I love you." He spoke loudly so that all could hear him, and laughed bitterly when he had spoken. my lord," said Tamamo. Now, as the high company sat and feasted, the sky became overcast with black clouds, and the moon and the stars were hidden. Suddenly, a fearful wind tore through the summer palace and put out every torch in the great hall of feasting, and the rain came down in torrents. In the pitch darkness, fear and horror were upon the assembly. The courtiers ran to and fro in a panic. The air was full of cries. The tables were overturned. The dishes and drinking vessels crashed together. The sake spilled and soaked into the white tatami. Then a radiance was made visible. It came from the palace where Tamamo was, and it streamed in long flames of fire from her body. The emperor cried aloud in a terrible voice, "Tamamo! Tamamo! Tamamo!" 3 times did he cry, and when he had done this, he fell in a deathly swoon upon the ground.
You can read, Chad. If you can't read,
And for many days he was thus,
stop being
and he
illiterate.
seemed either asleep or dead, and no one could recover him. Then the wise and holy men of the land met together, and when they had prayed to the gods, they called to them Abiyasu, the diviner.
Abiyasu.
They said, "O Abiyasu, learned in dark things, find out for us the cause, and if possible the cure of our Lord's strange sickness. Perform divination for us, O Abiyasu." Then Abiyasu performed divination, and he came before the wise men and said, "The wine is sweet, but the aftertaste is bitter.
Bitter aftertaste.
Set not your teeth in the golden persimmon, it is rotten at the core.
It is rough.
Fair is the scarlet flower of the death lily, pluck it not.
The death lily.
What is beauty? What is wisdom? What is love? Be not deceived, they are threads in the fabric of illusion." Then the wise men said, "Speak out, Abiyasu, for your saying is dark and we cannot understand it." "I will do more than speak," said Abiyasu, and he spent 3 days in fasting and in prayer. Then he took the sacred gohei from its place in the temple and called the wise men to him. He waved the sacred gohei, and with it he touched each one of them, and together they went to Tamamo's bower. And Abiyasu took the sacred gohei in his right hand.
He took it. That's sacred.
Tamamo was adorning herself, and her maidens were with her. "My lord," she said, "you have all come unbidden. What would you have with me?" "My lady Tamamo," said Abiyasu the diviner, "I have made a song after the fashion of the Chinese. You who are learned in poetry, I pray you hear and judge my song." "I am in no mood for song," she said, "with my dear lord lying sick to death." "Nevertheless, my lady Tamamo, this song of mine you must hear."
What is love?
"Why then,
Song?
if I must," she
What
said.
is love? Baby, don't look
"The wine is sweet, the aftertaste is bitter. Set not your teeth in the golden persimmon, it is rotten at the core. Fair is the scarlet flower of the death lily, pluck it not. What is beauty? What is wisdom? What is love? Be not deceived, they are threads in the fabric of illusion." When Abiyasu had spoken, he came to Tamamo, and he touched her with the sacred gohei. She gave a loud and terrible cry, and on the instant her form changed into that of a great fox, having 9 long tails and hair like golden wire. The fox fled from Tamamo's bower, away and away, until it reached the far plain of Nasu.
Oh, look at it. You can't go here anymore. You can't, because that stone's broken open. Oh, is that the picture of the stone being broken? Oh, lordy.
And it hid itself beneath a great black stone.
Now, so
the Emperor immediately recovered from his sickness.
Either that or she's dead.
Soon strange and terrible things were told concerning the great stone of Nasu. A stream of poisonous water flowed from under it and withered the bright flowers of the plain. All who drank of the stream died, both man and beast. Moreover, nothing could go near the stone and live. The traveller who rested in its shadow arose no more, and the birds that perched upon its top fell dead in an instant. People named it the Death Stone, and thus it was called for more than 100 years. Then it chanced that Genyo, the high priest, who was a holy man indeed, took his staff and his begging bowl and went upon a pilgrimage. When he came to Nasu, the dwellers upon the plain put rice into his bowl. "O holy man," they said, "beware the death stone of Nasu, rest not in its shade." But Genyo, the high priest, having remained a while in thought, made answer thus: "Know, my children, what is written in the book of the good law. Herbs, trees, and rocks shall all enter into nirvana." With that, he made his way to the death stone. He burnt incense, he struck the stone with his staff, and he cried, "Come forth, spirit of the death stone, come forth, I conjure thee." Then there was a great flame of fire and a rending noise, and the stone burst and split asunder. From the stone and from the fire there came a woman. She stood before the holy man, and she said, "I am Tamamo, once called the Proud Perfection. I am the golden-haired fox. I know the sorceries of the East. I was worshipped by the princes of India. I was great Cathay's undoing. I was wise and beautiful, evil incarnate. The power of the Buddha has changed me. I have dwelt in grief for 100 years. Tears have washed away my beauty and my sin. Shrive me, Genyo, shrive me, holy man. Let me have my peace." "Poor spirit," said Genyo, "take my staff and my priestly robe and my begging bowl, and set forth upon the long journey of repentance." Tamamo took the priestly robe and put it upon her. In one hand she took the staff, and in the other the bowl. And when she had done this, she vanished forever from the sight of earthly men.
Did she?
"O thou Buddha," said Genyo, "and thou Kwannon, merciful lady, make it possible that one day even she may attain nirvana."
Which is peace and enlightenment and everything else, how it be. Not the band. Excuse me. This is from a channel called Mythos. It's another telling of the same tale we just listened to. So let's take a listen to this. The Tale of Tamamo-no-Mae. Again.
The palace of Emperor Toba was in turmoil. Recently, the Son of Heaven, who had been a healthy man, had fallen sick. All attempts from the court physicians were failing, and it was starting to look as though the man would not live out another week. Worse, there were whispers that the sickness was not natural, but some kind of supernatural curse. Now, Abe no Yasuchika, the emperor's chief astrologer, was a very clever man. While we call him an astrologer, the truth was he was actually more of a doctor, mixing 12th century Japanese science with what we would consider occultism in order to protect the capital from evil spirits, track the calendar, and predict the future. This was not an easy study and demanded years of dedication, so when he felt something unnatural was happening, he had some grounds for it. There were other signs as well. Everything started when Tamamo-no-Mae, known as the Jewel of the Emperor, had arrived in the court as a concubine. She had been clever, beautiful, and had showed an intelligence and understanding of state matters that had baffled most of the Emperor's advisors. It was only natural that she would soon be irreplaceable to him. Yet, when asked about her life before, or even her family, Tamamo was evasive. Yasuchika had heard stories that bothered him. He knew that China had recently had a revolution, and the kingdom of Tanzu had whispered of a despotic prince who had tortured his subjects until his death. All of this started when a mysterious woman had appeared in the court. He had one true piece of evidence to his suspicions. On a windy night, while the emperor and his court had drank together in the summer palace, enjoying a feast, a storm rose, and a gust had managed to blow out every single candle. Yet it had not been dark. A strange light had filled the room, and it had shone from Tamamo's frame. Of course, the court had been quick to write off the events, claiming it was nothing but moonlight. But after that night, the emperor sickened, and no matter what remedies the doctors tried or what prayers the priests made, he would not rise. Tamamo-no-Mae, for her part, never left his side.
Because she was stuck in the
Yasuchika
soul
knew
out of him.
that he could not give his accusations without evidence. So he decided on a plan. As an astrologer, he occupied a place between priest and doctor. So he set up a ritual, taking out his relic and placing a single mirror on the altar. After that, he called the court to offer prayers for the recovery of their emperor. The court agreed gladly, all except for Tamamo, who claimed that she could not bear to part with her beloved emperor and would offer up her prayers beside him. It was the very picture of a love-struck concubine.
Hello.
However, Yasuchika was insistent.
Welcome. How you doing?
After all, would not the prayers
you know,
of one who loved the
ready to
emperor
get
so
spooked.
much
Are
be
you
more
spooked
pleasing
yet?
to the gods during this ritual?
A little bit.
Finally,
Tiny bit
the
of
woman
spook.
was forced to comply.
Fox woman.
She stepped forward, her head bowed in
Tamamo-no-Mae.
something like piety,
Most
only
infamous
to look
Fox
up
woman
to
for
see the
ripping
mirror
people's like
on the
babies
altar,
out.
where her face was clearly
Oh,
reflected
shit,
for everyone
okay.
else to
Yeah.
see.
And you want to know?
It was the pure white muzzle.
So I'm just gonna pause this real quick. And you know the biggest thing about her weeb is that her spirit was supposed to be exorcised like thousands of years ago by a priest, right? In the stone that she was in. The stone broke. The stone broke though. Recently.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, and that like weird shit happened after that. So we'll get to other weird things going on.
Of a fox.
Hello, everyone.
Tamamo was no fool. She knew when her masquerade was over, and as Yasuchika rushed forward to restrain her, the woman known as Tamamo
This
changed.
is woman's voice.
9
as well.
tails fanned from her body, and white fur
9
spread
tails.
around her face and
She a
hands.
fox woman.
Her face elongated into a muzzle, and her
'Cause she's a
small,
fox woman.
dainty hands curled into paws, until there was nothing
Also,
left of her
Tamamo-no-Mae
but
was
a
based on a
pure
real
white
historical
fox.
figure. Because
9
Really?
tails,
yeah,
a mark of
because it's in
tremendous
Chinese,
magical
Indian,
power, waiting
and
to threaten.
Japanese legends.
The creature
And
let
that
out a
woman
cry
was a
that
real
could
person.
almost have been said to sound like a woman's scream
Ah.
before vanishing through the palace into the night.
Spooky hair. Look at
Never
the hair.
to be
Look how
seen
spooky it
there
is.
again.
Oh,
The court was shocked and terrified, but they set up wards and sent out word about the
There's
white
the stone,
fox,
the killing
both in
stone.
anger at the demon that had so brazenly
Yeah,
attacked
look at
the
that- look at
emperor,
that
and in hope
ward.
that maybe,
it'd be a
just
darn
maybe,
shame if
it'd
somebody,
be in
you
time
know,
to save his life.
Would you
Broke
say
it.
weeb is
However,
late and
as
cheese
clever as
filled?
Abe no
Probably.
Yasuchika had been,
It's cheese filled, I'm sure.
it was not
no,
enough
I
to
am
save
late
the emperor.
and nap pilled.
Nap pilled.
Tamamo-no-Mae had devoured
Yeah.
too much from him in her time as his concubine.
Look at the eyes.
And he continued to sicken until he finally died. It was his son, in fury, who sent out the search party for her to avenge his father. The fox was found.
Also, weeb, I know how much you
in the
like
Tochigi
Hachisaku-sama,
Prefecture,
so she's the
near the
image
town of
underneath
Nazu,
both of us on the
and a
screen.
man named Miura no Suke.
Hold on.
Titties.
For some reason, this video is like
It was an
18 times
inglorious
louder than
ending
you
to a
are.
horror story.
Yeah, I got it turned down on your end.
She was shot
it's
to the
loud
heart
for
with
whatever
an
reason.
arrow as she fled, and her body, which had charmed 3 kings, was left to rot on a barren hillside. It
Right.
wasn't a great battle. There were no real heroes to the
I
tale.
can't turn
There
you
wasn't
up.
even
Huh.
a song.
Well,
to
turn
be
that
sung.
down as much as you can then.
Yeah, I did.
What's more, there was no reason. Tamamo's motive for setting this chain of events was never uncovered. She came, she attacked, and she was eventually killed. But
She
her
killed.
stories, her reasons, and her past are a complete unknown.
She did.
She
she-
dies as strangely
Her
as she
physical
lives
body is
in
dead.
her
She's
own
still a
story.
spirit, though, so you know.
But that's not the
You
end.
know how it be.
Tamamo-no-Mae's resentment was so strong that rather than decay, her body became a stone,
Mm-hmm.
one that was said to
Oh.
be surrounded by barren ground,
Yep.
where nothing would ever grow, and the corpses of any small animal or insect that was so foolish as to come near it. Because according to the stories, everything that touched the stone died instantly.
Everything.
That is where the name Seishaseki, or the Killing Stone, came from. It was featured in writings of such famous poets as Masuo Bajio in his record of his travels, and it was of course observed from a safe distance. Tamamo-no-Mae's
Not
story
anymore.
is famous.
That
No.
bitch open.
It has
Yeah,
been
it's
adapted
open
into
up.
no drama, novels, and television.
Gene did it,
The character
everyone.
has
I blame
found her
him.
way into
The
video
Rock was already
games,
cracking for
manga,
like several
anime,
years.
and all
It
forms
just
of entertainment.
finally fully cracked
The
like this
question
year.
is, why does it? And why does
It's been reported on
Tamamo
since like
herself
2013,
hold on so
which will
long?
be something else that was
There
reported
are
on since
plenty of
2013,
stories
but
about
will
foxes
be
in Japan and
interesting
China.
when we
Some
talk
are
about it.
helpful,
I'm pretty
like
sure
the
it
mother
broke
of
because of
Abe
you,
Sene,
Gene.
Look,
who could be considered the Merlin
I
of
just
Japan.
touched it. I didn't think it was gonna snap.
Most are neutral.
Yeah.
They play
Well,
pranks.
you know,
they punish.
it's
They mostly
it's
just
a
Look.
spooky
live.
stone,
They're
lich
seen as
boy.
part of
You
the
don't touch
landscape of
things.
this world.
Well, you know,
Kitsune,
I just
foxes,
thought it'd be
or fox
fine.
spirits, there was
Clearly,
never
I
a
was
clear
wrong.
distinction between
Yeah.
them. Are
Yes,
just
you were.
part of the landscape.
You did
Also,
it.
There
also it broke
alongside
open
humanity.
on literally
They would
International
play their
Women's Day, so
pranks
that's
and might
hilarious.
trick a person,
Oh,
but
yeah,
their antics
that's
usually weren't considered
fantastic.
deadly.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Yet,
fantastic.
this story stands out. Maybe it's the fear of
It
the
was the
unknown.
women.
After all,
They did it.
Tamamo-no-Mae came out
Well,
of
she's a
nowhere
woman.
with no clear
Fox
motive.
spirit lady.
Maybe she was working
Well,
for
you know,
someone.
it's a
Maybe
fox
she just
woman.
enjoyed what
It's
she
a
did.
little bit different. How,
I
are
mean,
you
That was likely the
racisms?
most
I
frightening thing
mean,
about
yeah.
it. Humans
Alright,
like
fair
things
enough.
they can define. We like to
It
know
was a prank.
for sure
It was a
Yes.
prank, bro.
why or how things were done.
Dude, you know, just a prank, bro.
And when something defies that, we are unsettled. Tamamo,
You're
in her
unsettled.
story, caused the death of thousands.
Yeah,
It's,
she killed a lot of
There's no
people.
clear
on the
reason.
stream, like your pictures
She
on
was
the
as
side.
inhuman as
Uh-huh.
her motives
Is
as
that
she
bottom
was in her
picture a
species.
big
Yes.
woman?
And
Yeah,
that
that's
puzzle
Big
keeps
Woman.
drawing us back to
Oh
her.
yeah,
Yeah, that's Big Woman.
Funny thing
big lady.
is that
Yeah.
at the same time, the legend still hasn't ended.
That's why I said the one
It hasn't
underneath
ended
this
with
is,
her death,
you know,
or even the
Hachisaku
horror of
Sama.
a stone
She
that
will
kills
always
all
be
living
the
things
icon
around
for
it.
Eerie Hours because
It
the
would be
fact when I did
easier
a
to
fucking
write her
video
off
on
if
her,
it was.
it got like over
It would just be
5,000
another
views.
story about a wicked seductress
It's like the biggest
who got
fucking
what she
video on my
deserved
channel.
and left a reminder
Really?
of her guilty.
Yeah,
Rather, hundreds of
at
years
you.
after
I
the
know.
story, a
Nothing
certain
else has
Buddhist
ever
monk
come close
named
to
Joro
that.
came to
This
his
won't
town.
either. I
He knew
guarantee
something of the
this
history,
won't.
but understandably was
But
disturbed at
It'll
the
still be
lack of
funny
life
if this
around
actually
the
got
stone.
high views too, just because of what
And so
happened
he
recently.
prayed
That's the only
and
reason
was
I'm talking about
confronted
both
by the
these
spirit
yokai
of
tonight either, because
Tamamo-no-Mae.
recent things.
At first, she was angry.
Fair enough. Oh yeah, wow.
Very angry.
Yeah,
She
Wow,
still resented her
5.9 thousand.
death
Look at
and
you.
hated the
Ah, no.
humans who caused it.
almost
But
6K.
Geno, apparently, was a very
That's like,
persistent man. He begged her to let go of her grudge and listen to her
5,100 more
tale.
than my highest
As time
stream
went
of all
on and
time.
the story continued, Tamamo apparently began to repent her anger.
And I had to reach out for a war
And when
ski and
he asked
fucking
again, She consented to the
that
stone
what's
to
that?
be purified.
Who's the guy? That guy
And
was
after that,
from the bald
She was
dude.
allowed to re-enter
The
the
bald
cycle of her
dude?
birth.
Yeah, the
and no
bald
longer
guy.
trouble the land
The
of
absolute.
living.
Geek
I remember.
Thulu?
Yeah,
While
that's
the
it.
stone would forever be seen
Yeah,
as
we had to get
deadly,
geek and fucking Warski to get
perhaps
800 views.
just because of
You just talk
what
about
the
big
Japanese
lady.
considered noxious gases around it. Tamamo
Big Lady was
herself
the
no
half
longer
subject on the
haunted
stream.
it.
She was actually the first subject,
Her
and there are other
vengeance, her
yokai
grudge
mentioned
was
too.
gone.
There's one other one. Actually, there's
She
two
leaves
others,
her
and they were kind
story
of creepy.
as
More
much
so
of an
than Big
unknown
Lady.
as she entered it. We still never understand the reasons, and she never really offered a solution. She came, caused her pain, regrets, and vanishes. Maybe that's the haunting thing about the story.
As you fumble
We
with
want
what's
to
ever on your
understand
desk,
Tamamo,
narrator in
and we
this
never
video.
will.
It's about,
Now, it's
about to
easy
say, like,
to write
not
off
this,
the
not
legend
this
of
time.
Tamamo-no-Mae as nothing more than mere folklore.
It wasn't me.
No, not you. I
After
know
all, we know
it's
better
the
than to
narrator
think
because
that
I
a
heard
Yeah, I
you
know.
stone
fumbling
can
with
kill
shit
someone
before
if
you
you
came
get
in.
anywhere near it.
Oh,
We
good.
know better than to think that foxes can turn into women.
Do you?
Or
That sounds racist.
No, I
a
watch
mirror
too much
can
anime
reveal
and
someone's
I'm
true
impressionable.
nature. Evil stones, foxes,
How about now,
motiveless
narrator woman?
evils
Yeah.
that leave so many dead.
How do I know you're not a
They
fox
can't be
woman?
anything more than a scary story
Yeah,
to
right?
tell in the dark
Can't trick
nights.
me, harlot.
Maybe to give some moral lesson.
There's no
My
moral
faith
lesson
is
with
yours.
Tamamo-no-Mae.
Scare
It's
us.
literally just she killed people.
I'd like to tell you that it is.
And then she died.
However,
However,
Such
I
a
just want to
psyche,
put this out there.
the
If there is
killing
some
stone,
evil fox demon
still
roaming around
exists
the
to this
world,
day.
like I so long
And
as
to
you're
this
hot, I'm
day,
totally down. Like, you know, you cut me
nothing
in,
grows
you know,
nearby.
give me like an island, I'm down.
let's see about that killing stone because it's broken now. Let's go to Japan, Weeb. You've been here before.
God, I fucking wish.
There's the killing stone. And actually, no, that's blind. Sorry, wrong. Wrong. It's not Killing Stone. That's Blind Snake Rock. There's other cursed rocks along the way, or weird rocks because it's a blind snake. Those are called lizards. Those are lizards. They're fucking lizards that are blind. Pampas grass. Blind snake rock and held this rock and hammer go to show their appreciation towards the snake.
Thank you, snake, bro.
As an object of Japanese mythology, yes, the Killing Stone comes in contact with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of sad I can't test this theory out.
Scary.
Oh, spoopy. Legend spooky.
I, for one, am spooked. Transformed in the courts of Tamamo-no-Mae, a beautiful woman who escaped to be a nine-tailed fox. Exposed to be a nine-tailed fox, excuse me.
Snake lady.
No,
Is there a snake lady?
There are snake.
There needs to be a.
That is,
snake
there
lady.
are snake ladies. They're nagas, I think.
Oh yeah, the Naga.
Yeah.
I know that.
Working for an evil daimyo planned to kill Emperor Konoe and take his throne.
Based.
Let's go see the stone.
How about we pick up the pace there? You know, stone feet.
Still, when the nine-tailed fox was killed by the famous warrior, its body became the stone.
Seki?
Are those cactuses?
Joro no Suke.
Those look like cactuses.
Oh, Lamia. That's another type of snake
yeah,
woman.
the haunting.
Ramen. Oh.
Those are cactuses, right? No, wait, those are the statues? What are those? I can't tell what the fuck those are.
Those are doodle bobs, sir.
Doodle bobs?
Doodle bobs.
Also, someone brought their child to where a murder stone is. Good.
Yeah. You know. You didn't clean your room? Guess what? It's fucking killing stone.
Until the Buddhist priest called Kano stopped the rest of this near the stone and was threatened by her. And then he purged her soul, apparently. But that's not the case because the stone broke open.
Yeah. He failed.
And there was an explosion from Mount Fuji that happened too, where it looked like smoke with the fox face. So you know, I'm not kidding about that. That happened.
Was that recently?
Yeah, that's after the stone broke.
Now I want to see this supposed
image.
Yeah.
Give me a minute. It's actually in the Discord somewhere. I gotta scroll up and find it.
Well, I looked in the Discord and I just saw a lot of bonking. There's a lot of horniness going on in your servers.
That's because of 420. He's the horned.
Oh.
Let's see if I can find
where
I posted it. Where the it's way up, I think. Please message it to me. Let me see that too. He was messaging me stuff as well. We were talking about it a while ago. Oh, wait, no. That's not there. Okay, so it's in the Discord channel. Let me find it. You read what's going on the screen, I'm sure.
Oh, thank you. Oh, that is badass.
Oh, you saw it?
That is badass, yeah.
Yeah.
Rock posted it.
Oh, nice. Posted again, good. Thanks, Rock.
That is cool, dude.
Yep. Skull slash kit.
Welcome, Queen. Slay.
Spooky death skull. Kinda, there's some fox features you can see in there, too.
It kind of, alright, so like, I'm looking at it, right?
Uh-huh.
It looks like the back of a woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
With her, trying to like that, or the
Those
left
are
arm
statues.
extended.
Yep.
You see like you see like the stereotypical fox ear on there,
Yeah.
and it looks like a massive hail formation is around there. That's what I see.
Yeah, I see that too.
Spirits are lurking everywhere in Japan, hiding in forbidden
So those are
forests,
statues
mysterious
with-
islands,
Yeah, they gotta
on
and
put
a
little
stone
hats
on
on
a
them so
slope
their
in
stone ears
Nasu,
don't get cold.
Tochigi Prefecture. This isn't the only stone in Japan that's believed to house a spirit, but what
Has
makes
anyone
this one
seen
noteworthy is the
Sweets
fact that the
lately?
spirit of a nine-tailed
No.
fox is said to be sealed inside it.
Hmm.
The Sesho
Evil
Seiki
murder
killing
fox
stone
woman gets
is an
released,
ancient boulder in
Sweets
Japan that
disappears.
features
Well, she hasn't
prominently
been
in
in the
Japanese
Discord for a while
mythology and
now.
is said to kill anyone that comes into contact with it. In March
So she's
2022, a
responsible.
photograph was circulated
Oh,
on social media of a famous rock
There
in
it is.
Japan called
Smash.
Sesho Seiki, or killing stone,
There
that
she is.
supposedly
Look,
housed an
there's
evil spirit.
Tamo.
This
Again.
picture
Japanese
was often
garden
attached
gnomes,
to a
yes.
caption claiming that it was recently found split in half, and that the spirit, named Tamamo-no-Mae, or nine-tailed fox, had been released. This large
Where's
stone,
Naruto
registered
so
as
we
a
can
national
bind-
scenic spot in
bind her
1957,
to it?
has been a
Yeah.
site of mystery for
Bind
many
her to
years,
him.
acting as a tangible connection
right.
to the myth of the nine-tailed fox. According to this myth, the
Look at it.
powerful fox turned into a beautiful woman named Tamamo-no-Mae, who attempted to kill Emperor Toba, the ruler of Japan from 1107 to 1123.
Boom. Alright. So now we've pretty much covered Tamamo-no-Mae. I know it's not much, but there's not actually a lot of videos on
You know,
her.
every time you say that, I think you're just saying like a weird form of Marissa Tomei.
It's a good time for summer fiends. For the next week,
Don't know
Best
why.
Fiends is celebrating the
Look,
beginning of
it's
summer
fucking
vacation
chilling.
with a number of summer-inspired challenges and cute beachside
This is
bug
the paid
graphics.
promotion.
Give it a try and let me know if you enjoy
I can't
it
believe
as
this
much
bitch
as
went
I
to
do.
Joann's and
Download the
just started
5-star rated puzzle
sewing
game
shit to
Best
her
Fiends
head.
free today on the
I'm
Apple App
professional.
Store or Google Play. That's Friends without
So
the
this is a
R,
Japanese
Best
horror story.
Fiends.
Best Fiends.
Hey, I'm Markia.
Oh,
Wanna hear
hi.
something scary?
Tell us all about it. Something
I don't
scary.
believe you.
Jorogumo time, Weeb.
The Jorogumo.
You know about this one, don't you?
There's nothing stronger than the bond between a parent and a child.
A shotgun.
But sometimes that bond becomes complicated, and if not addressed, can have terrible consequences.
Terrible consequences, Weeb.
In a village near
Like
Japan's
your
Mount
hairdo.
Fuji,
That's a terrible
there lived a
consequence
teenager
of,
named Usami.
negligence.
Isami.
She lived under the watchful care of her aunt Fumio, who doted on her.
Of course, her
Sam, that's a
aunt's
tiny,
Every
tiny
night,
bitch.
Usami
They're both
stared up
tiny.
at the
They're
snowy
Asians.
peak with wonder and
Yes.
terror. It was there that her parents had been lost in a terrible avalanche when she was just a baby. Look away from there, Aunt Fumio warned. It won't do you any good. They concluded with their nightly offerings at their Kamabona,
How about you block that
a
window then?
traditional Shinto
Nah,
family
don't look at
shrine.
her.
Don't blame her.
Usami bade
Oh.
her aunt good night.
The Japanese
night,
people will
as she
blame you
slept,
no matter what.
She heard
I'll
a
blame
sweet,
whoever I
loving
want.
whisper.
That's what Asians do. Blame game.
Usami. She sprang
Blame game.
awake and saw that just outside her window was a beautiful woman.
Oh.
She knew
Oh.
instantly it was her mother.
That's not creepy.
Her mother told her how
Hello
desperately
there.
she wanted to see her, but her Aunt Fumio forbade it. Usami was confused. Why would her aunt do that? Her mother explained that Aunt Fumio was unable to have children of her own and was jealous of her brother's blessings.
That makes a lot of sense.
Her mother claimed that her aunt killed her own brother and banished her sister-in-law so she could raise Usami as her own.
What? Okay.
Suddenly,
Sure.
Aunt Fumio turned on the lights. What are you doing? It's late.
Spooky.
Usami turned to the window to see her
Nothing.
mother was gone. The next day, Usami couldn't
Yeah,
think
they-
of anything
yeah, I agree
else.
with Ramen.
Her mind was clouded with questions,
On this
as
one.
well as rage
Creepypasta
at
just
her
ain't for you,
aunt
lady.
for
To
lying.
stick to makeup
At
tutorials.
breakfast, she coyly asked Aunt Fumio to relay the story of her parents' passing. Her aunt told the same story she always did, that of a tragic avalanche and a child saved. But Aunt Fumio's tone betrayed a distinct annoyance.
Ooh.
She told Usami she was tired of talking about it.
I don't
Her
like
aunt
to
then
talk
left
about
for
it.
work, but not before placing another offering
Why?
at
Why
their
did she
shrine.
draw the aunt obese like her?
That night,
I think
as
she's
her
just
aunt
small
slept,
and Asian.
Usami patiently
No,
waited at the window.
I saw love handles on that
Sure
bitch's
enough,
back.
her mother reappeared. Usami begged her to come inside. Her mother said she would, but only if Usami destroyed the family shrine.
Oh,
Usami
gee,
didn't
I sure wonder
understand.
why you would do
Their
that.
Kamabona was sacred. It contained amulets and keepsakes that protected the house.
Poor girl. Aunt Fumio tricked you again.
Oh,
She desecrates our Kamabona. with curses that trap you here and keep me from entering.
That's yeah.
Her
That
mother
doesn't sound like
explained.
something a demon would
Usumi
say.
was furious, filled with a desire for righteous vengeance. She marched
Yeah,
up to
break
their
shit.
shrine
Woo!
and angrily shoved it over. It splintered and shattered, sending shards of wood and porcelain flying everywhere. Aunt Famio ran into the room
Oh,
and
no.
exclaimed, "My dear Usumi, what have you done?" Just then, all the windows shattered and every door flung open as a shadow appeared over them.
Here we go.
The
Here's the
voice
spider.
of Usumi's mother thundered.
At last.
It's a spider woman.
The shadow transformed until towering over niece and aunt was a hideous creature
Look at the spider
with a
weave.
human
You
head
like
and a
spiders?
spider's body.
Like spooters
Aunt
weave.
Famio cried out,
Look
Do
at
the
spooters.
tits
"Your
come with
mother
the spider?
is the Jorogumo,
Asking for a
an
friend.
ancient goblin.
Sometimes.
She made it with your father and killed him.
She made it with
All
your
I
father
ever
and killed
wanted
him.
Was to shield you from such danger.
Yeah, how about
and
you?
tragedy."
Maybe if you told her the story
Usumi
instead
stood
of being
between
like,
her mother
I'm gonna
and her
be
aunt.
angered.
Her mother beckoned
You
and
deserve
promised that
this.
now they
Oh,
could
look at
be
the eyes.
together. Aunt Famio told her
Yes.
that the Jorogumo has no love for anyone. She would consume her daughter piece by piece,
Consume.
just
I mean,
like
spiders
her father
do
before
eat their
her.
own, so that's.
Then her aunt
no.
stopped talking, and when Usumi looked at the woman, she found that she had been impaled by one of her own mother's legs.
Oh well then.
Her mother spun her dying aunt into a webbed cocoon and then instructed her daughter to come home with her to her real home on the mountain. At that moment, Usumi was overwhelmed, lied to, traumatized. She had
She could really
no
toe
one
it this like
anymore.
resting bitch
No
face
one
expression.
except her mother. The Jorogumo crawled out of the cottage, carrying her webbed up meal, and was followed by Usumi. Together, they made their way up Mount Fuji,
Oh, boy.
reunited at last.
Spoopy.
My face gets super oily at the worst times. It's
That's
only
great.
after the
I don't
pictures
care.
get posted that I
don't care.
realize
I don't care. Okay, moving on.
Yeah, see, stick to what you
So
know.
here's a scenario.
Being, you know,
You're
never
pretty
mind. I
awkward.
won't do that.
Definitely
I won't
not
do
the
that
best
to your
of the
channel.
ladies, but
Thank you.
that's not for the lack of trying. Not for the lack of trying.
Not for the
Just
lack of
neighbor,
trying.
Who also happens to be the most attractive girl.
Yes.
The most attractive girl that you've ever seen.
But you'll know
So
where
you
I
then
could have
do
gone with
something
that.
completely out of
I want that
character.
for the record.
You
Yeah.
introduce yourself and
I
offer
get
to
it.
show her around the neighborhood.
You
and
know
somehow
all
things
about
go
oils
really,
being
really
Italian.
well. She even invites you over to her
Hey,
place
yeah, you
later
got
that evening.
olive oil,
You begin to wonder
Olive
about the terrible
oil,
luck with the ladies.
a
balsamic,
super olive oil.
Is
balsamic
this the
olive
one?
oil.
Sadly, the answer is no. No, your luck is definitely not changing, and no, she's
Yeah.
definitely not the one. She turns out to
As
be
long as
another
it's
man to
olive,
the
I know
spider
all
woman,
about them
and you
oils.
just happen to be her next meal. For those who still haven't guessed from the intro or even read the title, today's
the
video is
Jorogumo.
indeed on the Jorogumo, the man-eating spiders of Japanese folklore.
That are women.
So if you
that
do
turn
have
into
a fear
women.
of spiders, then I guess I'll be
that's a
seeing you in the
very
next
important
video.
point to that story. They turn into
The
women to eat
Jorogumo
men.
are another Japanese yokai that take the form of a spider, though they have been known to change their appearance to a more seductive woman when it's time to feed.
But
A
it's
diet
because
that
they're
consists
female
mostly of
spiders
young men.
that take the forms
The
of
name
female
Jorogumo
women,
translates to
like
mean
human
entangling
women.
bride, which of course refers
That's
to
a
the way
doom
they entangle
spider.
their prey in
That's a
their web.
lie.
But its name originally
They're
was
small,
thought to mean
like
whore
because the
spider,
spider they're based
so
on
take
is
from that
small.
what
Like the
you
male
will.
spiders are really small.
In Japan, spiders were thought to possess supernatural powers, but
Well,
only
look at
certain
'em.
species.
You see
The
spiders?
golden
Of course
orb
they
weaver
got
was believed to be
supernatural
the most common
powers.
form for the Jorogumo.
Oh hi,
The
Porky.
size of these spiders varies to quite a ridiculous extent, being anywhere from a few centimeters
hi,
long to
pork.
large enough to kill a grown man. The orb weavers were particularly known for their vibrant colors, their large
Yes.
size, and the very strong
You've
webs
seen
that they
the
weave.
orb weavers
Oddly
before,
enough, the
right?
golden orb
Weeb,
weaver
the
isn't too
Joro
different
orb
from a
weaver
regular
that's
spider
actually based
until it
on.
reaches
Because
a
we'll see them
certain
later
age,
on. I have
and
them
that
as a
age happens
video.
to be 400
'cause they're
years
gonna-
old.
I'm pretty
Until
sure
then,
I
they
have.
spend most of
Yeah,
their
they're
time
gonna be
in
naturalized
solidarity
here in the
in places
United
you'd expect
States.
to find a spider.
On the East
For
Coast.
Really?
Yeah, they
Once they
invaded
reach
Georgia
400
like
years
in
old, the orb weaver
2013, and
gains
now we're
its
gonna
magical
make
powers
like
and
enough
essentially becomes a Jorogumo.
breeds.
They develop
Sounding
the
like
ability to transform
Popeye,
and
we
shapeshift
watching
into a
olive oil.
beautiful
Listen,
woman.
listen.
And it's in this form that they
No,
deceive and
too
seduce
skinny.
young men.
Gross.
The Jorogumo are often described as having a cold heart and feeling no remorse for those they murder. To them, humans are no different to an insect, just another victim to feed on. Their favourite meal, of course, being young,
I support
handsome men.
bigotry against
During the
spiders.
Edo period, there were stories
said
of
that?
beautiful women luring men into abandoned and
based
secluded
ramen.
shacks,
No.
where they would play a Japanese instrument known as a beaver.
That
The
is
sound
some
of the
based
instrument would
ramen
distract
right
and
there.
set the victim into a deep trance, and that's when the Jorogumo would strike, wrapping him in her silk thread until she was hungry.
This process, however, isn't just as simple as catching a man and killing him.
No,
The
they
Jorogumo
try
take pleasure in
seducing you
consuming
first,
their
and then
meal,
eat you.
injecting their victim with a venom that slowly weakens them, allowing the Jorogumo to really savor their meal, while their unfortunate victims are sentenced to a long and painful death. They can
long
be
as she
found
has a
all
good
throughout
time.
the forests, the caves, and the dark and secluded places of Japan.
There's
except
one,
for
that's from Neo.
Hokkaido. The reason why I've yet to find. But maybe Hokkaido was just the arachnophobic
Supreme
part of
Gentleman
Japan
of
that just
Kiev.
wasn't having any of that killer Spider-Woman nonsense.
It's a Spider
But
Woman
I'm
of
sure
Kiev.
those native to Japan, or those who are more informed in regards to the traditions and superstitions found in Hokkaido,
There's
let us know
the
in the
spider
comment section.
posted in
We
general.
did
Well, that's
mention that they
fucking
developed a variety of
terrifying.
It's an orb
powers,
weaver,
and
they're
the
big
Jorogumo
spiders,
are
they're long,
extremely
lanky
cunning,
things.
capable of
I hate
concealing
it.
themselves for hundreds of years, despite
Well,
being in
don't
plain
worry, they're
sight.
naturalized in the
The girl
United
next door
States
could be a
now.
Jorogumo, and you
Yeah, on
likely
your
never
side
know.
of the country, where
Yeah,
the
As you may
weirdos
expect,
live.
they could
Yeah.
also control other
Eventually they'll
spiders,
spread to
and
where
it
you
became fairly
live.
common for the Jorogumo to
Nope.
be depicted as a half-woman,
Nope,
half
I got a
spider
strict
creature,
anti-spider
accompanied by
policy.
hundreds, if
You
not
can try, I
thousands
mean,
of
it's not
spider
going to help you.
children.
It won't
Now,
save
tales
you
of
from
these
the
children
spider
vary
woman,
from
Weeb.
regular spiders to fire-breathing
And they can
lunatics
fly!
who burn down the houses of anyone who becomes
Oh
suspicious
Christ,
of their mother.
we're fucked.
So be careful
We're
who you go
doomed.
around
They
accusing of being
parachute,
a
yeah.
man-eating Spider-Woman.
I blame Gene.
Perhaps the most famous story featuring a Jorogumo is
He
the
did it.
tale
He
of the
smuggled
Joren
them.
Jorogumo,
No,
the
you know
mistress
me.
of Joren Falls.
I would
a
totally do
waterfall
that.
in
Press
the
1
city
in
of
chat if
Shizuoka.
you believe Gene is
The
somehow
story begins with a
responsible.
man resting by a waterfall, when all of a sudden he could feel his feet being tied together by spider thread, and he was slowly being
Spiders,
dragged down into the water
spooders.
below.
It's spoilers,
In order
Harry.
to free himself, he cut the threads and tied them to a tree. The spiders were so strong that they uprooted the tree and dragged it into the water. Eventually word would spread of the incident,
Also,
and
spider
the Joren
titties on
waterfall
screen
was
now
abandoned
for all
by
the
the
people who
villagers
want
for
that
fear
in
of what
chat.
lived there.
There you go.
There was
Yeah,
one,
see,
however, who
Chad,
did
Chad
venture
agrees
to
with
the
me. You're
waterfall,
somehow
completely
responsible.
unaware of the Joren Jorogumo and the stories of the surrounding area. The
Let me see
man
the
was a
ones.
lumberjack from out of town,
One.
so he began chopping
Yeah,
wood.
see?
Until he
Gotcha.
eventually dropped his
One,
axe into
yep.
the water.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
no.
dove down to retrieve
This
it,
is right up
but
your
when he eventually
wheelhouse.
resurfaced,
Look,
unable to find
you gotta
his
have
axe,
demons
standing
thrive,
in front
right?
of him was a
And
beautiful
they're an
young
endangered
woman.
species.
He also noticed
Just
that his axe
imagine
had been
Gene rubbing
returned
his
to him.
hands. How can I make
The
more
woman made the man
content for
swear
my
that he
YouTube
wouldn't tell
channel?
anyone
I
about
know,
her.
Spider
And
Apocalypse.
so he kept the
Yes.
secret.
That's right, nigga.
For as
Gonna
long
do
as he
something about
could.
it?
One day the man had
Damn,
a little too
I-
much
nah,
to
man.
drink, and he began to
Whoa.
tell the story of the beautiful woman
Whoa.
by the waterfall. Once he had told the story, he fell into a deep slumber.
Also,
never
we're
to
gonna see
awaken again.
this whole scene
this
lay
ending
out
certainly
later
does
because I've
raise
got
some
something from a
questions,
video
and
game
for me
where
personally, it made
Jorogumo's
me
totally
wonder,
not the
what
end
else
boss.
The Jorogumo were capable of.
Totally not.
Do they have some kind of power over those who swear an oath to them? Is their secret or their promise binding?
She's hiding her thorax behind her. You
The
see
story
that?
of the Jorogumo and the
her.
lumberjack
I am-
does seem to have
I mean,
many
I could
different
still.
variations.
I get
most
it.
of
This
which seem
dude
to
is,
be
you
about the
know,
man falling
big
in love with a
sake
woman,
time.
only to later realize that he's
But,
slowly getting weaker and
How do
weaker.
you not notice,
He
you know, the
eventually
creep
seeks help
legs?
from a monk who tells him that the woman is evil and that he
I
should
don't
stay
know.
away.
I
Which,
do
of
not
course,
know this
is
is a
advice that he
giant
doesn't listen
spider
to.
web on the side.
Regardless of the details, the story
know-
always
yeah, I mean,
seems
you
to
know that
end in
sake
the
is
exact
slapping.
same way, with a man falling into a deep slumber.
Gene is
never
the
to
modern
awake
day
again.
plague doctor. Of course, he's
The
responsible.
Jorogumo are a yokai
Yes,
that we can
I
easily
believe
brand
that.
as evil, as their actions are quite cold and
Responsible for
calculated,
Trump's
bordering
laws.
on vindictive.
Nah.
But at times they also just act like a spider.
And they can fly.
So
enjoy.
whether it's just
Oh,
in their nature to behave that way,
fucking
or
Strog
whether they
posted
are an
the
evil
Spider
entity,
Woman from
I guess
fucking
it's down
Doom
to your own
3.
interpretation. Feel free to share your thoughts and ideas with me in the comments below. As always, I've been your host, Mythology and Fiction Explained, wishing you all a very happy and exciting new year.
With
Dated
spiders.
the video.
Spooters.
The Lost Folklore.
Yeah. Here, let's listen to more Jorogumo
The
folklore.
Sacky Titty Swamp Whore.
Jorogumo, a malicious yokai in the form of a giant spider.
Look at that.
A shapeshifter.
Look at that
who can
mustache
change its
on that.
appearance into one of a beautiful young woman.
Oh,
dating
hello.
back to the Edo period. Jorogumo is also known as the mistress of the Joren Falls in Shizuoka. One day, a man was resting at the foot of a waterfall, awaking to find his feet bound by multiple spider threads and slowly being dragged into the water.
He's being
Thinking
dragged
quickly to
in the
free
water.
himself,
Look at
he
that
cut the
spooter.
threads and bound them to a nearby log. It was soon pulled into the water.
Of course.
He's a ninja.
Softly, the man heard a voice, saying a single word. Clever. As he fled from the falls, returning to the village to tell his story and warn the others, people stopped visiting the waterfall entirely. However, one day, a woodsman logger from outside of the town was passing by.
And he got
Unaware
eaten.
of their story, he began to cut down trees in the area, when he foolishly dropped his axe in the water.
Oh, ramen.
As
Look
he
at that.
approached the pool, a
Look at
beautiful
that in
woman
fucking...
Oh.
and returned the axe
Uh,
to him. telling him to never tell anyone about her. He kept the promise for a time. One night, he fell drunk and told his secret to those nearby, then returned home to fall asleep.
And that's when she ate
Awakening
you.
in the night, he found his legs bound in spider silk.
You're not
What the
supposed
fuck
to.
are
Into the
those?
woods and never to
What
be
is
seen
that?
again.
What is that creature?
That on screen or?
Jorogumo
No,
is one of
your
many spider
general
legends of
sewer
Japan.
centipede.
This yokai shares
Oh,
its name
you
with the
don't
real
know about
spider, the golden
solofuges?
orb
I
weevil.
thought you would.
No, what
Particularly
is it?
large
That's a
and
fucking
terrifying
monster.
spider that can be seen across Japan
They
from late summer
spit
to
like
autumn.
vinegar.
As a seasonal creature, Joro
Also, here's the
spiders
Joro
usually
spider. Look
only
at it.
live for a single year.
I don't
and grow
like it.
extremely quickly. However, they occasionally survive for a few more and reach a size large enough to catch small birds.
Yeah,
According to
isn't
the
that fun?
legend, however, as
It's
each
fun.
year they grow,
Terrifying.
they become more powerful. Should a normal Joro spider reach 400 years old, it will gain supernatural intelligence and magical powers.
That's what
gaining
the
the ability
Japanese
to
believe. It
shapeshift,
takes a long
and
time
also
to become a
shifting its
demon.
preferred taste to that of
Hey,
young
you know
men
what? You gotta
who are
work your
looking
way
for
up.
love.
Ah.
The meaning of the name Jorogumo means binding bride spider. And
Binding
while they
bride.
often thrive in dark places of the wilderness, can from time to time inhabit an abandoned house.
I don't
in the middle
know.
of the
She's
city,
got
drawing
titties
in
like
new
that.
foolish men,
I can.
binding them
Like
and
that?
biting them slowly
Yeah, like
as they
that.
feed, filling the house with the dried husks of foolish men.
Bind
who
me
fell
up,
for her
Spider
appearance.
Mama.
I hope you enjoyed this short legend. This is day 3 of our October yokai stories. To listen to some other stories, check
Thanks,
out this
that was
playlist,
great.
and I'll see you in the next video.
Alright, so let's watch her being a boss
Oh,
in a video game.
I love that yokai of massive Skelebro.
Muramasa Reborn.
たま鬼娘にまた狭い袋に押し込まれ幸福んだりからぶん回されながら戻ってきたってわけだ
I'm gonna keep an eye on this to make sure it doesn't like say copyright notice.
愉快な主様じゃわいなそれで隙を見て
She's pretending to
こ
be
こ
a
へ逃げ込ん
geisha.
で避難したか
おうや信じちゃいねえだろそれにしてもこんな山の中に豪勢な遊び場があるなんざ2の俺様でも知らなかったぜその上一番人気の花魁が
Dude, this game is so underrated. It is ramen.
That is a
Muramasa.
funky spider strog.
どういう風の吹き回しだ
Aw, poor raccoon.
それを言わせる憎らしい
That's a spider
人ま
getting
る
him.
で芝居のスケロクのよ
I had this during Vita. Oh, nice.
2世までもと惚れた弱みわちきが全部面倒を見るわいな
とはいえひっきりなしにお呼びのかかる花魁が独り占めじゃお前も馴染みの客に合わす感があるめ行ってきな
つぶってわちきのメンツまでそんなら主様の言葉に甘えてちーっと座敷を回ってきやんす堪忍してくださんし
If you excuse me, I'm a
おう
spider.
行け行け俺はやきもちで困らせるような野暮じゃねえここでちびちびやって待ってるからよ
Oh, what a bro.
I'll just have a few more
も
drinks.
ういいねそうかいそうかいそんなに惚れたか俺も罪な男だね紐暮らしも悪かねえもんだな
Oh, yep, there's the webs.
動きにくいって
He fell for it.
旦那様はよ逃げろ
なんだ空耳かあいつの声が聞こえたようなこりゃなんだ
Yep.
いつの間にでかい蜘蛛の巣が
How do you miss that?
おいタイヤこりゃ一体どうなってんだ
七福神の宝を網にかけるための主様は妖精
Because the gods of fortune now, the
も
demon
はや
child
動
is
け
among
ぬ
blood.
鬼
You are no longer
娘
needed.
餌の役目も終わりだれんすよ
形勢の誠と四角い月にはお目にかかれねえってやつか
Your customers the truth.
分不相応の良い目を見てメイドの土産には十分でござんしょう客を騙すの
Don't
も
take it
形勢
personally that
の
I'm a
習い
demon.
まっぴらごめんなんし
Hey, you know, don't take it so personal, kid. We all get tricked.
Also, small little Oni.
やっぱりラジャじゃねえかしっかりしろ
山の松の木全部探してきたがどこにも魂は見つからなんだ風で飛んだのかな
His soul is gone.
すまん
He got no soul.
ここまで間抜けなんだ お前は俺の出任せ真に受けてあるはずもね
You believe
こ
me
うし
when
た
I
魂
lied
なん
to
ぞ
you?
探してやがったのか
Naive.
てめえらラジャキのことを分かってねえようだな
Lord, I know she's super strong. Your weapon's useless against her.
そんな糸へでもねえさ
Chortle.
よーく知っておればこそ網に加減した娘はワチキの毒牙にやられ毒が回って
Also, these spiders really aren't that toxic, nor can their fangs pierce human skin. I just want to point that out. The Joro spiders, despite being so big and creepy ass looking, they actually can't pierce human skin.
恐ろしい姿じゃ
おやそりゃ神仙の桃ではありんせんか
Spooky spider lady.
黒くじゅの不老長寿の桃七福神の宝じゃわいな
ずっと袖に入れっぱなしだったこの桃がそうかい
Color me surprised, but what mine is mine.
だがお前にはやらねえよ
今はの際まで強がるそのお言葉かりそめの情もこよ
Kill
うか
him
に
first.
せめて枕を並べた中
Hey, you know, at least you got some
様
nookie.
から食わせてくださんせ
Moment of lust.
口開けろ
Open your mouth. Eat it.
神仙の桃はどんな病も立ちどころに治すと聞いたぜ雲の毒にだって効かねえはずはねえやな
Used to hope so, right? Oh, yep. Look, an Oni. Time to fight. Look, sprites.
Beat her ass.
Short stack versus tall lady. Leave it to the Japanese. It's a fucking giant hammer with a face on it.
Whooping that bitch's full ass.
Oh, that was the first stage. It's always the first. Oh god!
Oh god.
Giant. Doing JoJo punch. Inferno Cloud.
Finish her.
Oh god, she's just a huge ass spider now. Oh, there's the one part. Okay. I mean, I didn't see the woman part, I just saw like the spider mouth. Which is her hair.
PK fire!
Yeah.
What's like Earth Bomb? I
I don't know. Totally no fire on it or anything. And this like nest sounding noises. Look like an Oni. Oh, she changed forms again. Now she's like a teen. She's like a teenager. Onis do be that way though, I guess. I don't know.
Is that a Kanabo she uses? Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
What a dope weapon.
Big fucking hammer again. The face on it. Here's another
You remember
thing.
that movie, Eight-Legged Freak?
Yes.
Fucking love that movie.
It's great. So cheap. Oh, what form is she taking now? Is it a big spider? Yeah, a spider. I like it because her hair ornaments basically are her eyes. Just notice that. Oh, nice touches. You attacking? She ain't there. coldness. Oh, got caught. Got caught lacking.
Got caught slipping. Yeah, the art style is fantastic.
It is great. This is a sequel to another game, which is Muramasa. That's giant. Giant pony running a fucking cloud. Go punching. Exploding cloud.
That's fantastic,
But yes, Jorogumo has become really huge ass spiders. I think we just want to point that out. I mean, they're huge. Though the spiders themselves in real life are super huge. I mean, they can get that big. They usually don't get that big. They just spin big. As most orb weavers are. And there are plenty of orb weavers that are native to the United States as well. You know what's actually probably come as a net positive for Joros being naturalized in the United States? They'll kill all those fucking stink bugs.
Yes.
Because they actually predatorize them. They had no known predators till the Joro showed up. The Joros actually eat that. Alright, she did. I'm sure there's supposed to be some, like, dramatic cutscene, but that's not in that. So let's talk about how they're actually here in the United States now. This clip.
If you live in Georgia or the southeast like I do, late summer, early fall, you are sure to see a brightly colored yellow spider somewhere in the branches with very strong, thick webbing. It's called the Joro spider, and it's come over from Asia. I don't know much about them, but I wanted to turn to an expert who does. Richard Hobeck at the University of Georgia told me all about these things, how dangerous they are, how concerned we should be, and what the future looks like as we live alongside these arachnids. Well,
they're just gonna stay. They're not going away.
Movie trailer came out this week, but I feel like I'm talking to the real Spider-Man. Where did they come from?
Almost sounds like Strong. At least not Laffy did.
Is essentially native to East Asia. So
yeah,
it's been recorded. Some list, in fact, the World Spider Catalog lists the species as occurring from India to Japan, whereas other sites will list it from Japan, Korea, China, and Taiwan. So
the only Asian countries I care about.
Is the spider catalog something that I can look at and order spiders?
It's a pretty detailed listing of.
I don't know about crabs being a necessary evil.
That sort of thing.
Okay, so how do we think they came over?
Unless crabs are knife fighting for my entertainment.
Was a hitchhiker.
You can eat them.
That either spiders themselves hitchhiked.
Why would you eat a fighting crab?
I mean, just eat crabs in general.
No, they'll possess you.
The crabs
when you say hitchhiker, you don't mean like someone on the side of the road thumbing down a car. You mean
look at that spider! Look at that spider!
Vehicle coming into the States. In this case, it could have been a freight container, could have been boxes. Any one of those sorts of things would certainly, harbor an egg mass.
That sounds absolutely terrifying when you say egg mass. I don't like that.
Yeah, I'm with the southern gentleman here.
It contains a lot of eggs, anywhere between 400 and 1,500 eggs in an egg sac.
Are they dangerous to humans or small animals?
I've not seen anything that suggests the Joro is extremely poisonous in any way. It depends on the individual. If an individual is allergic to arthropod bites and stings, they may react.
Fighting crabs have better seasoning. Hell yeah, 'cause, you know.
Whatever gets into those webs, they will.
They fight for the flavor.
They fight for the flavor. They fight for the old bay seasoning.
Yeah, the loser gets turned into umami.
Lots of flies, other bees, butterflies, moths. I've even heard from a few people where they've seen small hummingbirds ensnared in these webs. The webs are very strong, very high tensile strength.
When you mention those stinging creatures, I'm on board with that. But when you talk about a hummingbird, I'm starting to think, you know, maybe these guys are bullies.
They're bullies.
Well, I think there were cases where they might.
You know, I was rooting for you there, Southern guy, and then you had to, you know, be gay.
I see one on my neighbor's window right now. I'm not about to
looking at it.
Take my camera over there and freak them out or anything, but I might need to warn them because they have a couple
eat their
small
children. And that.
It's abundant throughout north central, northeastern Georgia. It's into South Carolina, but I haven't seen it much further south than.
It's gonna eat all your children and your pets. It will become your new pet and then your new mom.
I don't know if that really
They
means
fucking
anything.
try.
I can't imagine people aren't seeing it also elsewhere.
Remember, Weeb, if you see any Asian girl like you, it's a demon.
Yeah, they don't like
fucking
Alabama,
fall
I
for
guess.
it. It's a demon.
Maybe not.
I physically cannot help myself.
I know. I know your yellow fever will try to take you.
I am an irredeemable cause.
All right, so they
But
are
it's okay.
taking
As long
over.
as I get a little nookie on the way out. I don't care if I get murdered.
Yeah, I don't care
I'm very simple.
Get out of the
if
way.
they poison me and slowly suck up my internal organs. I'm fine with that as long as I get.
Did I get ass? If yes, then my death is acceptable. If not, then, you know, bitter.
Bitter. I'm bitter about it.
I'll come back and haunt every spider.
There's really little you can do over the long run to eliminate these.
I still can't get over that
Try
fucking
killing them
picture of
insecticide.
Fuji-san.
Again,
Yeah.
there's so many of them out there, they will continue to reappear, and it's just going to cost you money to go have an.
Oh, the spider crabs? Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a very
Holy
organized
shit,
network. When
that's a
one
big crab.
disappears,
Yeah,
there's
they're deep
another
sea
one ready
crabs.
to take over.
There will be another.
I want to fight it.
My gosh.
People have them as pets sometimes.
Essentially, the name.
You think I could win?
Japan.
I bet you could win. It's not. They're
Yeah,
not super.
see, Rock, you get it. Got eaten alive, doesn't matter, had sex. Exactly right.
You could win against a spider crab. It's not that strong. I mean, they're big, but they're not super strong.
How do you know? You've never fought one.
That's why the Japanese call it the Jorogumo. So that's what they.
Hey, I align with monsters. Okay, I don't need to fight them.
You are a monster.
Thank you.
Woman.
That was
Very
not a
interesting.
compliment.
I assumed it was.
Well, I took it
something
as one,
based
so
on Joe
eat
Rogan or
that.
something. I didn't know if it was.
You think the Japanese making
No,
crab
not
enemies?
that. It's-
Oh,
it's
you're
the
fair point.
Japanese Jorogumo.
Fair point, Tatsuo.
So they call it the Joro.
Fair point.
Wow. Well, very
If
appropriate
I saw,
name.
if I went to the beach and I saw that nigga just big chilling, I'd be like, okay, no, we are
Let's
eternal
go back
enemies.
real quick. I want to hear what he
It
just said
was,
again.
They kind of think it's it can change into a seductive.
Very interesting. I assumed it was something based on Joe Rogan or something.
That
I
Joe
didn't know if
Rogan
it
would
was-
have said that?
No, not that. It's I just said it comes from the
Rogan
Japanese
Gumo.
Jorogumo.
Jorogumo.
Call it the Joro spider.
Wow. Well, very appropriate name. No doubt about it.
Yeah, I think so.
And there it is, waiting menacingly to seduce you in its web.
Kick its ass.
Alright, so that's pretty much it, besides one other video I have just put in for Weeb,
Oh.
since I knew he would be here.
What's wrong with October? Don't you like Halloween?
I hate Halloween.
Wait for
It's
it.
even worse than Valentine's Day. Halloween is a yearly reminder that I don't have a Japanese word, long black hair, big boobs, and tattered white dress ghost
Yeah.
girlfriend.
I know that
Go
pain.
again.
Here we go again.
Girlfriend would be the best.
It's just
She
playing
would
against...
curse my soul for eternity and never leave me. And she would give me spooky ghost jobs in the middle of the night.
Does it even matter? If you don't have that sixth sense stuff yet, then you don't even know if you have a ghost girlfriend. You might have a ghost girlfriend motorboating your head right now.
Don't get my hopes up. All I can feel is the soft, foreboding chill of autumn.
Motorboating your head right now. That's a great image.
Oh, that's fantastic.
He's a Coomer, you can tell because of his hand being
Yeah,
one check and the other, yeah.
That or he's a proto-charger from Left 4 Dead.
I mean, both could be the same thing at once, could be true at the same time.
Before the Coomer meme, like back when the charger was like, I made so many fucking jokes, and then it became a meme.
Rock just posting the fucking the spider chick from Monster Musume in general.
Acceptable.
Could you fight this one? We being added by Nathan about a spider that has a fucking lightsaber.
You're damn right I can fight him. He needs a lightsaber to have a chance against me.
It almost looks like Yoda because the spider's green. Ooh. Kill you, I must, and boil your skin. Mmm.
Soft boiled I am.
Yeah,
delicious I could be.
Delicious I could very well be. Mmm.
Mmm.
Fucking bald buddy. Yeah, I know, right, Rock? I put this in just for Weeb because I knew he'd be here. But that is kind of everything we have tonight. I didn't have the biggest plan for just showing it because there's not that many videos and stuff on it on YouTube that's not repeating the same thing over and over again, and I don't want to do that. So that's what we got.
What a bro.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm gonna do a little showing like I usually do, and we're gonna end tonight early is how it's been for a while. So don't forget the movie caption contest, movie picture, and movie hangman are going in Discord, so be sure to play those. The movie caption contest just got switched out today, so be sure to go over there and do your own captions and everything else. Don't forget tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Porky plans to do something we should all attend because it's going to be a really fun time. I promise you that.
Is that in the Discord?
Yes, they'll be in the Discord. They'll be a Discord
Alrighty.
exclusive because Porky has a Mac and he can't stream like a normal human being. So,
oh, Pork, I'm disappointed.
Yeah. And don't forget that me and Weeb will be back here on Sunday for Fans of Fiction, so be sure to tune in.
Yes! Before I disappear.
Yep.
Maybe a not return. We don't know.
Well, you're going to, London, so...
Yeah, no, listen, I just want to put this, I'm going to do a little shelling. Keep an eye on the news between the 15th and the 22nd. If you hear any story about a fat American saying the N-word in UK, that's your boy.
Good job.
You can say, hey, I don't know that guy, and, you can mean it.
Yeah.
You can mean it.
Yeah. Thank you, Weeb.
I will be taking ghost pictures though, so if I do find anything good, I will post them in the Discord.
You invited Weeb, Porky? Yes, I did. I did invite Weeb. He's gonna come to your thing tomorrow.
You know what? I normally just disregard things that Gene says, but I will be there, Pork, for some amount of time.
Yes, he still has some packing to do. Weeb, I have one request that you would do for me when you go to London.
Yeah, sure. Anything.
Tell me if the fucking Big Ben's under construction, because I still believe it is.
I will let you know.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem, man.
All right. So that's going to be it for tonight. Have a good night, everyone. We'll see you later.
Have a good night, everyone.